We decided to call this project Uncovered. The premise of this for us was to pick 3 songs that changed the course of who I am as a singer, as a songwriter, and as an artist. And for me, these 3 songs were Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Wonder, Living for the City, and Forget About It by Alison Krauss. All 3 of these songs, for various different reasons, kind of had a huge impact on me and the things that I gravitated towards as an artist, the things that I thought were cool about music, and that I wanted to make music similar to these people. Rhiannon was really interesting to dive into because this song is a classic song, obviously, but the challenge, I think, was to try to make this my own version, but also how to modernize this song and kind of give it a structure that is more like the way that we would write a song. My favorite part of reworking Rhiannon actually was the very end of the song. We waited to put the Rhiannon part, the big chanty Rhiannons in, and we actually altered the chord progression at the end, and it's not like the original version, which to me kind of distinctifies our version from theirs. The Definitive Collection for me was one of those records that was always around in my house growing up, in the car rides to school. I remember hearing all of Stevie's greatest hits, everything from Superstition, Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I Just Called to Say I Love You. And the one specifically that stood out to me was a song called Living for the City. To me, just his delivery and the message he was saying in that song spoke to me even as a kid. And when we were talking about this project, Living for the City was just the first song that I immediately knew. I was like, I have to do my version of this song just because I've carried that with me for so long. And now it feels kind of full circle to do it almost 20 years later. My way of reworking Forget About It was really for me to hone in on the vocal. Alison Krauss is an artist who has been close to me in my life. She grew up playing music with my family, and Alison obviously has a catalog filled with tons of amazing songs, but for me, I always gravitated towards this guy named R.L. Castleman. He was a songwriter who wrote a lot of songs for Alison, and I just remember this song just stuck with me over the years, both lyrically, but specifically the feel of the song, like forget about it, I'm admitting I'm alone, and I just take what's mine and walk right out the door. Alison naturally sings all these beautiful high notes, but this song kind of sits in a pocket, and it's specifically about this phrasing that's in the verses. I kind of wanted to bring it in my world a little bit and foreshadow a little bit where I'm going with a song that is as rootsy as this one. These 3 songs were very exciting to me to do. I was a little bit nervous at first to do these songs because I have such great reverence for all of these songs and these artists and bands. It was also a very fun challenge to tackle these songs and to think about how I could hear these songs without the music. I wanted to put my listening ears away and just think about pen to paper song, because as a songwriter, that's how we have to do this all the time. We structure songs, we format songs, we put lyrics to chords, we put melodies to these things. And so for me, I wanted to try to unhear those things if I could, and to think about if I were doing this song, if I were writing this song today, how would we work this up? How would we do this demo? How would we produce this? And so honestly, that was really fun, just to kind of dig through the bones of all the stuff that they did, but then try to rework that so that we could do it that shows what I do.